Welcome to the big land, known as Labrador. Dramatic coastlines, sweeping barrens, thick boreal forests, and ancient rock formations. The natural wild beauty of this place surrounds you at every turn. The living landscape is its own wonder, teeming with eagles, moose, caribou, and on the coast, rich marine wildlife. It is in this vast and undulating expanse where there are more lakes and rivers than you can possibly comprehend. There thrives a species of fish that is the holy grail for most anglers. The wondrous native species that is the crown jewel of Canada's waters. The brook trout. Labrador is one of the last best places left in the world to catch wild brook trout that reach truly epic proportions. These are the trout of legend, and the compelling reason why I've traveled to Labrador. Mark was having good success using a bomber down below me. I was using a blue charm wet fly for a slow swing across the currents. Casting was difficult for us both, fighting the brutal winds and lashing rain, when suddenly I went tight on a fish. A fish that turned out to be a very pleasant surprise.
Yeah, so we were fishing a rock up here for salmon, and we decided to move down and try for salmon down below, and we thought we had a salmon the whole time. But sea trout, there's large sea trout come in this river, and it's usually around this time to the end of the month. That's a beauty. That's a fresh sea trout. It's probably been in the river. His colors are changing a little bit, so it's probably been in for a few days. What's that, about 4 pounds?
It's a good size.
He's a nice fish, yeah.
For my third day at the lodge, we decided to visit one of the many back lakes in the area, commonly referred to by locals as ponds. These lakes are relatively shallow and famous for producing large hatches, a match made in heaven while dry fly fishing for brook trout. After a quick boat ride across the main lake and a short walk through the woods, we assembled our gear and headed out into Burton Pond. My guide today and for most of the week is Travis Pinsent, a young and enthusiastic guide who possesses excellent knowledge about brook trout fishing. Okay, so Travis, we've had a nice hike in. We're here on Burton's Pond. Now most people say, I thought I'm in Labrador to river fish, but the cool thing about Igloo Lake is that there's lake fishing, there's river fishing, and there's pond fishing, which is a small little back lake, right?
Yes, sir.
And what this lake is famous for is dry fly fishing, as I understand, right?
Yes, sir. Dry fly action.
3, 4, 5, even bigger brook trout. And we just had one after we dropped the anchor here come up on a drake, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
You got gray drakes and green drakes?
Yep, brown as well.
Brown, okay. And what really got you excited was you found a hex.
Yeah, a big old hex.
Big hex. And if we got lucky, we'll see a hex hatch happen, because there's one thing I've seen, whether it's smallmouth bass or it's trout, a hex hatch makes them go crazy because it's so much food, one gulp, and they get very aggressive, right?
Explosive takes. And now if the trout start to rise big time, say you can pattern them then. It's almost like you're hunting for fish. And if you see a trout take one mayfly, he'll go right to the very next one, the closest, and you try to put your fly in front of the next fly. And more times than none, he'll come up and take that fly.
With no luck at the first location, my guide Travis suggested we zip over to another spot on the lake. Upon arrival, we quickly and happily discovered a large mayfly hatch was underway. Now the real fun of dry fly fishing could begin.
Got him.
Got him. Fish on. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's a nice fish too.
Yes, sir.
I can't say how much fun it is to hunt these big brook trout that are all around us here, sipping mayflies in the current and trying to put your fly ahead of them, predict where they're going. You did a great job walking me into that fish, Travis. Now we're using a barbless fly, so we minimize the damage
Yes, sir.
that we do to this fish. And the water's good and cold, so playing them properly. And was this 8 pound or 10 pound?
8 pound test.
8 pound test. And it was literally, what, a boat length away?
Oh yeah, maybe. It wasn't very far from the front of that boat. I think he's ready here, Colin.
I think he is
You can
too.
get his head.
Yeah, I'm gonna get his head up here. Bringing it up. Okay. There it goes.
Here's his head is up.
Yes.
Good job, Colin.
That was a lot of work to get that fish.
Fly comes right out.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir. This one is ready to go. Beautiful.
A boat length. It was like one rod length and a bit. I just went, and he didn't just sip it. He hammered it. Oh, and they're all over here. Shall we continue the fun?
Yes, sir. No point in stopping now.
Well, that was an epic eat. I gotta tell you, we're having some incredible eats. Look at this 5-weight. Look at that tank on dry flies. Now, what size is the dry fly I've got on this?
Number 8, 10? 10, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a nice fish, Colin.
it is. Okay. I don't think we've caught any real small ones yet.
No.
They've all been tanks, and we keep seeing this shark
Oh, yeah.
that's just out of my range. Oh, sweet.
Yes, sir.
This is so incredible.
Beautiful brook trout.
What's that, 3.5, 4?
4, I'd say.
On a dry fly, hunting them, and all around us there's brook trout. There's dozens and dozens of these, and this is just one spot.
This is just one spot.
We've got a whole bunch of them in this pond, Burton's Pond, and the main lake is where the bigger ones are.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm gonna have such a good week. This is a fantasy. After such a fun day on the water and lots of fresh air and exercise, I couldn't wait to enjoy a hot meal, good company, and to plan for tomorrow's adventures. This is the fun of coming to a wonderful lodge like Igloo Lake.
We just got here. We're down below what they call a rattle, which is all these rocks up here under the riffles and rapids. And we're in the pool number 3 below it, and we're seeing some rising fish. Now they're really subtle right now, just a little sip on top. We have a big mayfly and a bunch of caddisflies coming off right now. I've got a Goddard caddis on right now. I'm gonna try that and see what happens. I'm stoked about this. I've been on this river before when it's like this, and it can be epic. Got him. I seen him, he rose just right behind it. Ooh, it's not giving me a chance to get him on my reel. So I'm gonna have to fight him this way until I get control of him and keep a tight line. Now, he's gonna fight now because he's gonna realize the boat is here. There he goes. Keep a tight line on him. It's important if you can to get him on the reel as quick as possible. If he starts running at you, you got to strip the line in. Okay.
Beautiful fish.
It's a nice fish.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I knew I was going to love this place, Chris. I knew I was going to love it.
Oh no, it's a great spot for dry fly fishing, for sure.
See if I can get his head up. Good man. Oh my goodness. I am extremely excited about this. Dry fly fishing for giant eastern brook trout. Nothing beats it. I've been here approximately 15 minutes. Giant eastern brook trout on a dry fly. A size 12 Goddard caddis. Outstanding. You have to come to Crooks Lake Lodge in Labrador. Dry fly fishing, you can get them on streamers, but right now we got a mayfly hatch and a caddisfly hatch at the same time, and the fish are rising. Why wouldn't you take them on a dry fly?
This week at Crooks Lake Lodge, we're experiencing caddis fly hatches anywhere from size 12 to 16 or 18. And we're experiencing some mayfly spinner falls still. So we're on the tail end of some of the mayfly, and there's also some mayfly duns around size 12 to 16, and some smaller blue wing olives. Generally here, any small brown mayfly imitation works really well. Silver feather, Bill.
See him? Yeah.
See him?
Yep.
Yep.
Got him. You see that mouth come right out of the water on that one. Good fish, taking line on me.
Woo-hoo. Big head shakes.
Big head shakes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's a nice fish.
Look at the tail on it. Ooh, it's good fish.
That's a nice, really nice fish, Bill. Good work.
Yeah. Anytime a fish wants to run, you let him. Let him fight the drag. Don't hold on for dear life. It's one of the biggest mistakes I see novice fly fishers do, is grab on the line and hold on for dear life. The drag is there for a reason. It's meant to unwind like that at a controlled pace. Ooh.
Still got lots of fight in him, man. Holy
Yeah,
smokes.
he's still, yeah. He wants to run, I let him run. When he stops running, that's when I pump him back to me.
No, you're doing great,
Oh,
Bill.
that's a big fish.
Shorter fish, but definitely has a girth.
Yeah. Just a second. There we go.
Sorry.
Oh, get him back. Get his head.
There he
There
is.
we go.
Oh,
Good man.
He's a heavy fish.
It played longer than I thought it was. I thought it was a much larger fish, but it's still a very respectable fish right now, but on a dry fly. That's the best part. Oh.
There you go, Bill.
All right. Oh, man. If you pick them up and don't squeeze them, they generally stay pretty quiet. Okay, I'm going to put them back in. I'm going to let the guide release them.
Oh, he came up beneath it. Did you see that?
He looked at it. I saw
I saw the
flash.
colors. That's crazy, man.
I don't know where it is.
Oh.
Got him. I just struck when I seen the fish come up.
Yeah. Good hook set, Bill.
Yeah.
Nope. Sometimes you have to use primal instinct.
Yeah. Didn't know where the fly was. It disappeared on me.
It's a real good fish. I think that was on the dry fly.
I'm not sure. We'll see in a second here.
Yeah, it's on the dry. I don't see the...
No,
on
it's
the
on the
emerger
emerger.
again. Yeah.
on
And
the
you would
emerger.
swear it was a dry fly take, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the way he came up.
Yeah.
But he hit it on the way up, that's what he did, and he just couldn't stop.
Fish rolling everywhere.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
Looks like he took it well.
Yeah, he ate that. He definitely ate it.
Yeah.
Trying to turn his head.
Tough, eh? I don't want to make a stab at him.
Nope. Woo! Just about had a wet guide.
I'd rather get wet than break him off. You ever hear the limbo? Labrador limbo? That's what that's called.
Labrador limbo, that's a good one. That's a new one to me.
Yeah, I thought he was ready to come in and he just...
Yeah, these fish fight hard.
Yeah, they do.
They
yeah.
don't give up. Okay, he feels like he's getting close. Or she, I think this one is. Keep your head up. Good man. Outstanding.
When I first came to Labrador in, sometime in the mid-90s, it was, well, I came up here for the big brook trout. Everybody hears about the big brook trout. It's one of the wildest, emptiest, prettiest places I've ever been. At this point, I think this is my 9th or 10th trip here. And at this point, the people are my friends, I'm comfortable here, and it's arguably the best brook trout fishing in the world. Simple as that.
Whoa, wow. Oh my God. Woo! That is amazing. Brook trout are, unlike in North Carolina where they're 12 inches is a great fish, up here 5 pounds, 6 pounds, 7 pounds. There are lots of them and they fight. They're in the rapids. This time of year they've got beautiful color to them. I've been fishing for brook trout for probably over 50 years because I started out catching little brook trout on worms. And I think before I came to Labrador, my biggest brook trout was 15 inches. And my very first Labrador brook trout just blew me away. It was a small fish for here. It was maybe 3 pounds. And I was just floored by the size and the color of that fish. It was the fish of a lifetime for me, my very first fish. Oh yeah! Woo! So this is the biggest brook trout of my life. I can tell you that for sure, because I've never caught one over 15 inches before. Wow. Oh my God. Look at that color. Oh. Oh. Okay, wow. Oh my God. Look at those colors. Nice. Ah. Wow, what a beautiful fish. My God. Oh, wow. Taking the line. Ooh. What
hammer. Oh. So I've got 2X on, which you definitely need, if not 1X, with these big fish here. Throwing the mice. And beautiful colors. All I saw was a big red flash. It's absolutely outstanding. And this isn't even a big one. You imagine what 8 pounds will look like. But I'm more than happy with this. Oh, this thing is like something in a trophy case, made out of wood. Okay, got the head up, coming in, coming in. Oh, good job. There we go. The barbless really works. It's a great policy they have here at Three Rivers, going totally barbless so that we don't hurt the fish. Wet my hands. And what do you see the colors of this fish? It's just unbelievable. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful flank. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, he solved my release problem. Thank you, sir. It's just fish after fish here. It's incredible. And look at this pool. It's just the perfect pool. Let's get another one.
I've always had a soft spot for brook trout. They're the great North American char. They're sort of the fish that American fly fishing was based on originally, before the brown trout came along. And they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're moody. They're hard to find. Sometimes when you find them, you can't catch them. There are rare days when you can't keep them off your fly. You never know with brook trout. You never know. And there's something about them when they get, at home, a 15-inch brook trout is a huge fish. And up here, they start getting up around 4, 5, 6 pounds. I mean, that's just an astonishing fish. There aren't very many places in the world where you find those.
The next day, we traveled back to the flower pot run. I was really excited as the fish were rising there.
We've just arrived at the flower pot pool, which has been the most productive pool that they've had this week. And before I dive in and do what I did the other day, I'm gonna observe. It's really important that you observe first. Don't just go in because yesterday it worked here. There might be fish close to shore, you don't know. So have a look. We've seen a couple of rises. They're more out in the middle. That tells me that the hatch is just beginning. So I'm gonna keep my eye out. I'm gonna wade real carefully and not try to disturb the water. So this is what you first do when you first come to a hole. Don't just barge in, have a look first.
Okay, Bill, down beyond that tree there's one coming up there every now and then. So he's most likely lying around that tree.
Okay.
So good chance you could catch that one.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I see him. I seen him. Right in there.
Yep.
Come on up. Got him.
There you go, Bill.
Got him.
That's a good one.
When they start showing themselves, it's excellent.
Yes, sir.
Now that was right tight under the alders there, so you got to keep an eye there. That's where most of the caddisflies are going to be when they're mating and coming out to lay their eggs. Excellent. I don't know how big it is, but it's took a nice little. Oh, it's a good fish. It's a good fish. Now I've picked a bigger fly. It's actually a sofa pillow, which is a stonefly imitation, but we got such big caddisflies here. I wanted something big for the water, and it worked. Yeah, it's a decent fish. Just let it tire itself out. It will. Come here, you. Here we go. There you go. Nice brook trout. Really colorful, this one. Look at the spots on it. Let him go. Dry fly fishing for a giant eastern brook trout, it's the best. It really is.
The hatches on the Eagle River are heavy and all sizes can hatch at the same time, so dry fly suggestions are elk-haired caddis in all sizes, Goddard caddis in all sizes, and when fishing subsurface, woolly buggers in black and also in white worked really well. Don't forget to bring some mouse patterns for the times when the trout are aggressive.
Got him.
That a boy, Bill.
It's the reason most of us started fly fishing to begin with, is for the dry fly. And when you get them big fish like this on dry flies, it's outstanding. Wowee. Angry fish right now. Another good sized brook trout. Got him. Wow. Wowee. And he wanted that bad because he took it right down into his roof of his mouth. Beautiful. That's a nice brook trout. He's had a run-in with I think an eagle. If you look down by my hand here, he's got a talon mark in him. Nice fish there. Wowee. And away he goes.
Our adventure begins in Labrador City at the Air Saguenay base. We board their float plane for the 120-mile flight to the McKenzie River watershed in the wilds of Labrador. Joining me on this trip is my good friend Richard Smith from Florida, who's a passionate angler. For Richard, this is a very special trip, as he has quite a fondness for the rugged wilds of Labrador. As we begin our approach to the lodge, we can see snowbanks throughout the region, even though it's the last week of June. It's been a long winter and a late spring. For fishing, this translates to high and cold water. Definitely not a time for hatches. But it's definitely a time to cast streamers and even mice patterns for big brook trout, northern pike, lake trout, and especially landlocked salmon. 8 years before, I had visited McKenzie River in late August and had experienced some of the best and most exciting fishing of my life, catching big landlocked salmon on streamers. I have returned to McKenzie River for the opening week with the hope of repeating this exceptional action.
Nice jump. Oh, nice jump.
Landlocked salmon are prized game fish because they will hammer streamers and even topwater flies, and once hooked, will go airborne. There's so much fun on a 5 or 6 weight rod. So my hopes are high that we can tie into the species, as well as the bonus of lake and brook trout, plus northern pike. After unloading our equipment, we quickly began setting up our rods. We were really anxious and excited to get out in the water. After a short trek through the forest and a little bit of snow, we got into the Gander River boats and headed to some prime pools. We're very fortunate to be led this week by some really exceptional guides who are also wonderful people. Richard's being taken care of by passionate angler and guide Etienne Merrier. Head guide Jean-Paul Desjardins was to be my mentor on the river. Jean-Paul, affectionately known as JP, is one of the kindest and most professional guides I've ever had the pleasure of working with. After getting set up on our first pool, JP told me more about what to expect in early season fishing here on the McKenzie River.
Early in season, in the deepest spots of the McKenzie River, we can expect for lake trout that are leaving the deeper ponds or the lake. They're dropping back, and they're trying to feed, in fact, on everything that moves and brook trout. We're catching mostly fish on streamers and topwater flies like the mouse or the gurglers. And then the landlocked are running through the system, what we call the kelp, you said, the dropbacks, I like to call them.
Ones, yeah.
Darker one that spend the winter in here. And slowly but surely the fresher salmon will get into the river, and I expect some today.
So what I'm doing, we got the fast water coming down through here. The fish are actually holding in pockets in the fast water. I had one take out there. Just caught one here on the edge. They're going to be anywhere along this edge. They go to the slower water here in the middle. They don't like that area generally because there's going to be pike or lake trout that could eat them. So they're going to be in the faster water or on the inside edges here. And what I'm doing with the mouse pattern, and you can do this different mice patterns, but this gurgler seems to work really well, is I'm holding the rod tip up high, shaking it as it goes across and letting the current do all the work after I cast it out. And then as it comes to the end here, then I'll strip it back, little slow strips. And you never know where the fish are gonna hit. Somewhere in there, it could be out in the faster water, they see it and they'll chase it, or right here on the edge. Okay, take a step in. Oh, there's a little guy right there. Just took it right here at the, right in front of me. That is so cool. Oh, that's a beautiful brookie. This is what we're looking for. Oh, look at that. So I think there's gonna be a bunch down here on the edge, but I have one hit right out there in the faster water. See if we can get his head up. I'm using the 3X tippet. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Oh, fly already popped out. Not bad. Look at that. We're gonna let him go right now. There he goes. Beautiful. On top water. This is so exciting. All right. It's hard to see the fly. There you go. Fish on. Beautiful. A little bigger fish than I thought. So I think there's going to be a bunch down here on the edge. We're just getting started here. There we go. Yeah, that is a nice fish.
As we worked our way downriver, casting to the various runs for brook trout and landlocks, a pattern began to emerge. We kept catching lake trout, even on surface flies.
Well, we were just getting towards the end of the run, looking for landlocks, and I swung the fly through. I felt a thump, and I went, was that bottom? And then I gave it a little pull, and then had the hit. And as you can see, this 6 weight, I'm in my backing already. Oof. So I'm gonna try and use side pressure, get this guy out of the current and into the slack water. So this fish, got him on back on the line. So what I'll do, JP, if you want to go there,
downstream,
I'll bring it to you there.
Waiting for
and get him out of the current. I think he's kind of confused as to why he's moving upriver. You can see that, look at this rod go. So I'm using a 15-foot sink tip. It's an S6, so 6 inches per second. Oh yeah, that's a decent fish.
I've got 4 feet of 2X. Got lots of strength here for both the landlocks, which can be quite big. I think the average is probably 4 or 5 pounds. And then of course these lake trout. I'm gonna get the head up. They're like the taimen of the north. There we go, right in there. Oh, and in the current, behind a rock.
I think the lake trout are one of the most underestimated fish from freshwater, you know, in North America. They tend to be deep water fish with downriggers or even live bait or whatever, but for a fly fisherman, catching a fish that size in the current